You wear exposure suits for warmth and to provide some protection from accidental stings, scrapes and cuts. The three primary types are wetsuits, dry suits and skin suits, which are sometimes called bodysuits. You use wetsuits in water as cold as 10 degrees Celsius or 50 degrees Fahrenheit to 30 degrees Celsius or 86 degrees Fahrenheit. They're made of foam neoprene. Water seeps into the suit and gets trapped, which is why they're called wetsuits. Afterward, your body heats the water, and the neoprene slows further heat loss significantly. A wetsuit has to fit properly, because if it's too loose, water flows in and out, taking away body heat. Too tight, and it's not comfortable. So, be sure to get a professional fitting. Dry suits cover most or all of your body, and you use them in water cooler than 18 degrees Celsius or 65 degrees Fahrenheit, but also for very long dives in warmer water. As the name says, the suit keeps you dry. An undergarment and an air layer, and sometimes the suit itself, insulate you. Because a dry suit is an airspace, you equalize it and adjust it for buoyancy control when you change depths. You learn to do this in the PADI Dry Suit Diver course, and your instructor will familiarize you with dry suit operation if you use one in this course. Dry suits don't fit snugly, but size, fit and options are still important. Skin suits provide some sting, cut, scrape and sunburn protection, but little or no insulation. You wear them by themselves in very warm water, or under a partial wetsuit in moderately warm water. Many divers wear skin suits to help them put on wetsuits. Exposure suits come in different styles, and you can choose from different accessories and options. Wet and dry suits insulate you so effectively that overheating can be an issue when it's hot out. Avoid this by setting up your kit before putting on your suit, and put the suit on at the last possible moment. Stay in the shade if possible. Limit activity as much as you can, especially when you have to be in the sun. Pull back a hood and unzip the jacket for as long as possible. If you do start to overheat, stop and cool off, even if it holds up the dive a few minutes. You carry a cutting tool for safety, such as to deal with entanglement, and for convenience, such as to remove litter from a dive site. You can choose from 4 basic types, though some areas regulate the types and sizes of cutting devices. Dive knives range in size and usually have a smooth and serrated cutting edge. Dive tools are similar, but they replace the pointed tip with a prying tip. Shears are especially suited to cutting line and net. And Z-knives are bladed hooks specifically for cutting fishing net or line. You usually carry a Z-knife in addition to a regular knife or tool. You mount cutting tools in different places based on what you like, as shown. Wear at least one someplace you can reach it with either hand, so it's accessible even if you have an arm a bit tangled in something. You need a dive gear bag to carry all your equipment, except weights, cylinders and dry suits. They're designed specifically for diving so that salt water won't ruin zippers, so the material won't rot, and so they can withstand the stresses carrying it. You can choose from many styles, options and colors, which are mainly personal preference. The main thing to pay attention to is size. Select a bag that is slightly larger than what you think you will need, because your kit tends to grow as you gain experience. As a diver, there are 3 primary instruments you use: your SPG, dive computer, and compass. These may be separate instruments, or 2 or all 3 may integrate into a single one. You're already familiar with SPGs. Dive computers track your depth, time, and give you time limits. You'll learn about these in sections 4 and 5. Your compass gives directional information so you can find your way. You'll learn about doing this a bit later as well. Besides these, there are optional instruments. Before dive computers, divers used depth gauges and watches for use with dive tables. You will need these if you use the RDP table or ERDPML instead of a computer. Dive watches are popular lifestyle accessories, the badge of a diver, if you will. Many divers who have computers also have dive watches for that reason, as well as having another way to time their dives. Thermometers help you learn how much exposure protection to use. Although you can get a separate thermometer, your SPG or dive computer may already have one. Dive instruments are robust, but shield them from impact and don't drop them. Keep them out of prolonged exposure to direct sunlight and high heat. Other than rinsing instruments, the primary special care is changing the batteries as directed by the manufacturer. See the manufacturer literature for any additional requirements.